Good afternoon, and live from the SDG Media Zone at Cannes at the Goals House. Today we have Eric Tippetts, who is the co-founder of NASGO, and Sergey Sholom, who is the founder of GNation. So we're going to start by having the gentlemen introduce themselves, and then we're going to do some questions and answers around impact, blockchain, and what it means to communicate this agenda to the rest of the world. So,
awesome.
Eric, would you please
Amazing
give us a little background?
Hello everyone, my name is Eric Tippetts, co-founder of NASGO. We are a blockchain application platform, which probably you have no clue what that means, but really a decentralized internet built for entrepreneurs. So in a global world of people trying to really get their voice heard and really be able to use apps to not only tell their story, get their content monetized in a global economy, be able to create merchant processing. 75% of the world is underbanked, so how are they going to go get a merchant account or a bank account? So we really wanted to simplify that for every person everywhere and make it to where without being a techie or a developer getting their website onto an internet, make it extremely simple for somebody to come on and within minutes be able to tell your story, be able to share it globally, be able to monetize it, and then be able to increase sustainable social impact by the platform giving every 17 minutes. As the blockchain gets bigger, it just gives more. So we're excited to be here today at the Goals House in Cannes, France, talking about sustainable social impact, how technology is impacting that, and really going beyond. Excited to hear more about with Sergey and what we're talking about doing for the world.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. And I'd like to start from something which is more important, more with meeting people that are talking about doing things rather than just talking about that. So we three of us over here, we know very well that the things are actually under development and already pre-release release stage. We are that close to start creating incredible size of impact. So I'm founder of GNation, a global community of people around the world that we would like to unite and empower and give them all the abilities to change the world. To give everything at their hands, right there at fingertips, how they can create an impact. So not anymore being dependent on thousands of individuals or companies that are trying to save our lives, save our planet, and we all hope that they will do this, but at the end of the day we see that something is not really yet working. So we are strongly believers that it's only up to all of us to be finally united and being empowered with everything we need to take care about the life over there, to take care about our planet, to finally give it a hand. That's what we're looking for, and that's what we're building. And together with Eric, we will share right now, together with Sergio, everything that we have built for many years already. So incredible time ahead. Welcome.
So thank you, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have you both, and also Eric, thank you for being a partner to help support this. So we're very thankful to have you. I wanted to get into a couple questions, and I think kind of when we're looking at the audience that will be watching, really kind of want to take a step back and you guys both talk about blockchain, right? We're talking about impact. We're here at the world's largest convening of creatives, right? As we heard Phil speak earlier, 66 years of the global community coming here. But also what we're seeing now here with the Goals House is outlets where folks that are reinventing markets, reinventing how technology impacts people, are now coming together and looking at, when you look at the Sustainable Development Goals, right, number 17, and we'll see where it is around this.
I see it, it's over here.
Right, number 17.
There it is.
Thank you, sir. is paramount to, that weaves it all together, right? And when we look at, over the last couple of years, really, blockchain has, this advent of new technology has really kind of taken the world by storm. Where everybody's talking and trying to figure out, how do I make more money, right? But very few people are saying, how do we actually change the world? I think what's really exciting about having both of you is you're both talking about platforms and how these platforms can engage new audiences, new people, new ways that we can actually drive new paradigms into, you know, sort of doing purposeful, as we heard today at lunch, right, where, you know, doing more, as both of you talked about, right, and you're both not doing more. The DNA of what you're building is doing it, right? So I think that, you know, for folks and that are listening, maybe it'd be great to kind of talk about a little bit on blockchain. Don't go so deep, but, you know, to lose people, but really talk about why is blockchain the opportunity to drive impact? Well, how is blockchain that catalyst to drive, you know, social impact? Because before we waited for Silicon Valley to do something, it hasn't. Right now, this is new evolution. It's truly global. So why don't you please, each one of you, kind of give us a little bit of, you know, why blockchain is important for impact.
Well, I think the number one thing for me is transparency. So blockchain was built, so think of, you know, to make it very simple to understand, think of the internet that we all use today, and think of a decentralized internet. So it's the people's network. The servers are everywhere, all around the world, that manage the network. So, but everybody can see what's going on in the network. And so I think that's extremely important when we talk about blockchain. You know, I look back at, you know, when Haiti, the big disaster happened in Haiti, and billions of dollars went into, you know, giving to this country. But nobody knew where the money went. Like, nobody can see where the actual money went and made the impact. And I think that's something that I'm hoping I can, you know, be a voice to really call out brands and to call out people, charities, to say, hey, we need more transparency. We need to see where things are having a true impact, and at what level, and where are we really seeing that that it can provide us that insight into that level of transparency. And that's what blockchain, I'm so excited about, being able to provide something that gives, you know, brands and people and missions the ability to built on trust and transparency and fair all around the world.
Thank you.
Yeah, well said, Eric. For me, blockchain, of course, like for many of us, this is some magical world, something, technology, very complicated stuff, etc. For me, it's pretty simple. It's the way how you connect people. So blockchain for me is not a technology. This is a connectivity between people without any borders, skin color differences, language barriers, without any limitations. How to unite people where actually the values started to be shared values. How to drive it to the community, to the level when actually all the decisions and controlling and everything is made by community, where we know for certain that everything that is happening is fully transparent. Yes, we must build it with the technologies, and what Eric is doing with NASGO is incredible, like spending so many years just to build it in a way when communities will be able to follow that and get this technology and apply for their needs. This is like a basement, must to be present, otherwise it's not happening. But later on it anyway comes to an idea what to do with this transparency, what actually transparent we want to show, what we want to see as a result. And here where we're taking care about that in our part of our equation, this is GNation community of giving people, of good people. They want to see that the impact that they created really has been delivered. So at the end of the day, it's again about transparency, based on technology or mainly based on the ideas of community that want and declare to be things, to see things finally transparent. So that's why.
You know, please indulge and tell us a little bit about that. Just
cool. So, you know, we built our blockchain to solve our own issues. We were doing global business. We were getting hacked. Got hacked 9 times. Had bank accounts shutting us down. Firewalls blocking us. So I really come to this interview from a voice of every entrepreneur. You know, that's my passion. That's what drives me every day, is to have people have hopes and dreams and give them foundation that they can go build it. And so all the apps that we built on our blockchain are how do you facilitate more communication, more collaboration, and more transaction I believe, you know, when I ask people, is it better to give or receive? Most people say give. And I say, you're wrong. Because if you don't have anything to give, then really what are you giving? So you need to go make more money, because then you have more money to give and you have more impact that you can create in the world. And so our apps are really about enabling and empowering entrepreneurs around the world to get in the game. So many people have amazing concepts I see in India and in Vietnam and Cambodia. Poverty is crazy, rampant there, but yet you have some of the brightest people with huge dreams that can get in the game. And so we really want to enable and empower that, and as a part of it, just the platform alone gives and donates every 17 minutes. So we're excited because for us, we will help people build more business and build more money, but we really were lacking, how do we quantify social impact? And this is why I'm so excited. You know, Sergey and I didn't even know each other. 2 weeks ago, we spoke at the United Nations, and I spoke, and then when he was speaking, I'm going, oh my gosh, he's the missing piece that NASGO is needed to really quantify what kind of impact you're doing. So that's why I'm extremely excited to be here, excited to be with Sergey, and there's big things coming.
So quick question for you as it relates to, you said 17. Was that done because of 17 goals, or was just a number that you
Woo, didn't even think about that.
That
was
okay,
totally, wow.
Okay,
that's first. That's
wow.
You
said 17. I'm already thinking 17.
Wow, this was just built into every 17 minutes it builds a block in our blockchain, and that's when the rewards happen.
Okay.
That was just
absolutely.
Oh man, that's huge.
So you gotta give us, please, how is your platform saying, right, from what you're doing, what you're building, how is it actually driving impact, right, and gearing towards helping others or your community accomplish their goals?
Yeah, thank you, Sergio. Thank you, Eric, for the nice words. Look, I truly believe that it is always something to give. So, like, you always have something. At least you do have time, you do have passion. You can give it. Yes, it could not be, and many times quantified, monetized, etc. This is where the issues come. But still, when you do have right intentions, that are already a lot. You will find a way how to create a value out of your time, whatever you have. And this is where Eric is helping a lot, empowering exactly these communities to giving them the way how they can make more money values that could be turned towards impact. There are so much money in this world, yeah, and so much money in the hands of everybody, yeah. But people are not jumping into impact; they're not doing anything, and the main reason is like, oh my God, where are my $20 for good? Yeah, and this is the question that many of us are asking, and that's why no one is actually doing something afterwards. No transparency, no clear path of how the money creating an impact and what is there for me to be proud. So in GNation ecosystem, we haven't built the platform as the closed space. No. We have built a service, a set of tools, APIs to empower all the businesses, no matter what are the business, where they can finally implement it inside of their products and give the benefits to the consumers, to their customers or users, whatever. How nice it is when you make an online shopping or whatever you're doing with some brand, but as a reward, this brand gives you an ability and opportunity to do good. Not pushing you additionally to donate something. No, it's a part of the revenue that you have just spent, and this is your reward, my lovely customer, because right now you can be proud of what you're doing. And certainly we applied so many things around that to boost the engagement, gamification, so push everybody into this race for the impact, and in the race how to prove that I'm a good guy. Yeah, I believe that this is what is so much missed over there. I can do a lot, I can donate, but what's next? No one is really knowing what's going on with my $100. Even me, I have no clue, which is wrong. Once we change this paradigm, once we change the game itself in this space, I believe that tremendous changes will happen.
So, thank you, Sergey. So interesting. One of the questions I wanted to kind of come back to you with is, why gaming?
Why gaming?
Why is gamification so important? Right, we live in this new world where folks in sort of our age brackets are still playing games. right? And some of the
biggest
older,
community in the world.
yeah, some of the older folks actually are jumping into the gamification where, you know, sort of growing up was a thing that, hey, that was for the kids. You grow up, it means you don't do that anymore. Right now, that's the past. Right now, everything you do now, corporations, American Express, you name it, whoever is finding ways to engage you, and the most powerful has been through gamifying things.
Yeah.
Right, the UN a couple of years ago started to look at this and say, hey, how are we looking at, you know, Angry Birds and games that actually could tell messages and that could actually, you know, sort of reach millions, if not hundreds of millions of people just through that element of, hey, climate, let's create a game around climate and teach people, right? So in that respect, tell us why can you just explain to the audience, someone that's been in this gaming space your whole life, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit, must connect the dots as well, kind of, you know, tell folks, you know, how did you get here and why is gaming so important?
Thank you, Sergio. Well, I'm a pro gamer 20 years ago, 15 years ago I founded a game studio, we developed many games, so I know a lot in this space. But the most important knowledge that I've got is that engagement level and the way how in this gaming industry you can interact with the consumer, how you can engage him, this is uncomparable to whatever is the rest. The power that is in the hands of game developers is incredible. You really can drive them just to do this and to do that. And unfortunately, over all these years, even if we see right now many examples how gaming companies running this charity event, but at the end of the day, it's just one event in some stadium, and that's it. Next year, you will not hear about me. This is my PR and marketing. But believe me, these guys, all these gaming companies, they want it continuous experience. They want to reward the gamer every time when he's playing, and that's what we're doing again by providing APIs you can integrate in the game, and then, I don't know, 7-year-old boy or girl will play some game and being rewarded because at the same time I'm doing good, I'm helping some kids in Africa, I'm saving dolphins. That's as simple as it sounds, as simple as it will be. No need to complicate the things and expect that we will build some incredible games related to sustainable development goals and we will change the world. Consumers will not go to play these games. They will play the games that they love to play. Just let them enjoy it and give them the reward. So in my case, we building this good nation as a game nation, as a good nation, converting everybody to a good person with ability to track how much of the good you have created. In my future that I want to see, and I believe like everyone wants to see, when one amazing moment, parents will approach some kid and tell like, why are you addicted to this game, do this or that, but not playing games, and the answer will be, Mom, Dad, come over here. Look, this is my good nation profile. Do you see that last month while I was playing games, I have contributed to these games and not to these games, to these projects. I saved dolphins, I did this and that and that. Mom, Dad, what did you do last month? That's what we want to see, and that's with whom we want to communicate, with Gen Z, with millennials. We must empower them, we must show them the way, and assuming that they're actually not that well accepted by society and they're kind of lost and trying to find a purpose in their life, this is an amazing way to show.
Thank you, Sergey. So when you look at the gaming space, there is over 2.5 billion gamers and growing every single year. And it's outstanding. The business itself as an industry, it's just continuously to grow. It's growing because with every generation that comes online, they just are adding. Soon enough, the entire world will have at least be a gamer, have played games, and either growing up or part of their educational platform. Universities are going into programs that are adding gamification to help you learn, and you can learn faster. So the element of gamifying things is even how you navigate a smart city. Hey, make it into a gamification and then people get more involved. So that's really interesting, and thank you, Sergey, for that. And I think that the sort of the juxtaposition of what Eric represents is sort of, you know, solving his own problem from as an entrepreneur. Right? 10, 12 years ago, when lots of us were out there building businesses, people would say, hey, why don't you go build a website or go work at a corporation, right? You should not.
Go get a job.
Yeah, go get a job, right? Because, and this is only less than 10 years ago, right? Literally, maybe at the most 18 years, right? But like literally the last 10 years, all of a sudden, entrepreneurism was a hot word. It was like everybody had to start a company, Silicon Valley took off, everybody was moving to Silicon Valley to build a business, right? This element that then Silicon Valley became a global phenomenon that everybody wanted that ecosystem in their cities, in their governments, right? Now, when you're looking at that ecosystem, it can live online, right? It's an element of, hey, I have all the resources that I now need, right? And you're targeting a completely uniquely different sort of demographic. That's why you two guys collaborating is incredible. But you know, when you're looking at that entrepreneur and how you're solving, whether in the entertainment space, right? Can you dive in a little bit deeper on that? On you know how that is going to drive impact, because the businesses of tomorrow are businesses with purpose, are businesses with a conscience, yes. Right? But also the platforms have to give you those tools, as we were talking about earlier, because if you don't have the ability to, you might have the best ideas, but then how do you execute? So can you collaborate a little bit more on that, especially in that vertical, because you're helping create entrepreneurs at the same time too.
Yes. Well, I think, you know, as my partner and I looked at platforms that are today's platforms, I mean, I won't say they're legacy platforms, but you know, you look at Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat, you know, the content creators are not getting monetized, it's the platform that gets monetized. And so here you've got content creators posting 8 times a day, working 3 jobs. So we need to change that. And so we wanted to make it to where flip the whole model upside down and allow a platform to our content creators. We were talking about musicians. I mean, that's a broken industry in itself, but we recently were about to launch Jafar Jackson, his first album. So his song will come out in July or June and album in July. So here's the nephew of Michael Jackson, son of Jermaine Jackson, didn't want to go into the traditional engine of music labels. So he came to us, he tokenized his album and said, I'm going to pre-sell experiences, the album, VIP events, ringtones, all these things to my fans and followers. They can then fund my album, I get to produce my album. Those people then utilize those tokens to get the album or get the experience. But what you got now is a way for Jafar to interact directly with his fans and followers, for him to be able to monetize, go put content on our Vapor platform. He can do a scavenger hunt and gamify that people can go using AR technology, go find those tokens, put them in their wallet, and now Jafar will offer exclusive experiences using his Jusic token. So we wanted to make it to where it was very simple. It was very simple for any person to be able to produce content, monetize it. Everybody's got their tribe or a community. Make it very simple to do that, and then really share that voice, that message in a simple way.
Thank you. Thank you. So we're getting ready to wrap up, and I kind of wanted to get a little bit more deeper, less into your business, right? So you guys both global travelers, right? Travel all over the world, literally. Like you're in Asia, you're in Europe, you're in US, and then back and forth. So, you know, people that are listening, watching, learning, right? What sort of advice can you give them as they go on this journey, if they become inspired by listening to both of you? Obviously, one, they're going to want to, you know, obviously they'll look you up, which is fine, but like, what is it? What's a takeaway? Give them so that, you know, you could inspire them to be more, right? To do better. And again, remember that most of the world doesn't live the lives of the people that we see here, right?
Yeah.
Most of the world, they want to learn more, they want to do more, but they also want to be inspired.
I think for me, you know, that is possible. You know, when I shoot videos and I show stuff like this, I'm not doing it to brag, I'm doing it to show people it's possible. You know, I grew up with nobody giving me a handout. My partner, it would make you cry to hear his story. So we come really from, you know, entrepreneurs that were struggling and trying to build, you know, our mark in the world, our voice. So everybody listening that's going, you know, they're living up there and they're in Cannes. It's crazy that we're here. I have no clue how I got here. It's absolutely bizarre that, you know, we didn't set out to be, you know, the biggest blockchain or to be here in Cannes. We just started off each day going, you know, can we go sell something? And can we make it? And can we live today? And we've got, you know, my partner has kids that he's trying to support. It was really an eye-opener to start to see as the momentum got going, how many people were in the same position. So I would just say, you got to start somewhere. Everybody keeps talking that one day they're going to do it. If you never start, that one day will never be your day. And that's just, my partner and I, we just started.
That's awesome, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to join your words, of course, but also to add that when you are that extensive traveler, you learn pretty quickly that this world is so amazing. And all of us people is so different, but at the same time we are so much alike. And we do have absolutely the same things to take care about and the same things that we're passionate about. The advice, the number one advice, probably, guys, let's stop watching TV. It really not helping us a lot. But probably you will cut this off, but oh, it's live streaming, right?
Yeah, stop watching this.
This is the best advice. This world is amazing no matter what is your skin color or where you live and what is the papers you have. There are so many incredible individuals, and the more we are joining into a network of people who are around, in fact, you cannot imagine where this flow is leading you after that. So having the right intentions is probably the biggest power nowadays in the world, which is leading you and helping you on the way. One amazing moment, you just need to wake up and say, like, I can do this, I want to do this, and I'm starting right now. Then the things are happening. So just not waste your time in front of TV and start doing it.
So thank you guys. Thank you very
Sergio.
much for a beautiful session. Thank you for your partnership. Both of you guys have been strong, partners when everything that's been going on with the SDG Media Zone, so we're very thankful. And I think that sort of from a wrap-up perspective, right? Travel, do things with purpose, innovate with new technologies.
Surround yourself. That's the major thing. You're going to hear big things coming from the two entities. You got to surround yourself with the right people. People that are sitting there telling you that you can't do it, you're always going to say. If you heard these conversations that we're having, it's so big at such a level, but it forces you to start thinking that way. You got to surround yourself with people that just think big.
There you go, and that's a wrap.